If you're preparing for case interviews and either don't know what an issue tree is or are struggling to craft the perfect issue tree for cases, we have you covered. In this video, we'll quickly cover everything you need to know about issue trees, including what they are and why they are important. We'll teach you a simple but powerful 3-step approach to create the perfect issue tree every time. We'll also cover 5 essential tips for creating issue trees that you absolutely need to follow if you want to impress your consulting interviewers with your issue tree. We're going to cover a lot of material in a short period of time, so let's get started. What is an issue tree? An issue tree is a visual representation of a complex problem or question broken down into smaller, more manageable components. It consists of a top-level issue, visualized as the root question, and sub-issues, visualized as branches and sub-branches. Top-level issue or root question. This is the main problem or question that needs to be addressed. It forms the root of the issue tree. Sub-issues or branches. Underneath the top-level issue are branches representing the major categories or dimensions of the problem. These are the high-level areas that contribute to the overall problem. Further sub-issues or sub-branches. Each branch can be broken down further into more specific sub-issues. Why are issue trees important? Issue trees are helpful for a number of reasons. They help facilitate systematic analysis, managing complexity, prioritization, generating solutions, identifying root causes, and effective communication. How to create an issue tree. There are 3 major steps to create an issue tree. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you through the process. Step 1. Define the top-level issue. Start by clearly articulating the main problem or question that you want to address. This will form the root of your issue tree. Make sure that you clearly articulate the main problem or question. This sets the foundation for the entire issue tree. If you are addressing the wrong problem or question, your entire issue tree will be useless to you. Step 2. Identify the branches or sub-issues. Consider the major sub-issues that contribute to the overall problem. These will become the branches of your issue tree. Brainstorm and list them down. There are 4 major ways that you can break down the problem: by stakeholder, process, segments, or by math. Stakeholder. Break down the problem by identifying all stakeholders involved. This may include the company, customers, competition, suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. Each stakeholder becomes a branch for the top-level issue. Process. Break down the problem by identifying all of the different steps in the process. Each step becomes a branch for the top-level issue. Segment. Break down the problem into smaller segments. This may include breaking down the problem by geography, product, customer segment, market segment, distribution channel, or time horizon. Each segment becomes a branch for the top-level issue. And finally, math. Break a problem down by quantifying the problem into an equation or formula. Each term in the equation is a branch for the top-level issue. Step 3. Break down each branch. For each branch, ask yourself if there are further components that contribute to it. If so, break down each branch into more specific components. Continue this process until you've reached a level of detail that allows for meaningful analysis. Before we move on to looking at examples of issue trees, please take a second to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our new case interview content. The strategies and tips we provide could make the difference between landing a consulting offer and getting rejected. Issue tree examples. Here are 3 high-level issue trees for 3 common types of business situations for case interviews. Profitability issue tree. Profitability cases ask you to identify what is causing a company's decline in profits and what can be done to address the problem. A potential issue tree template for this case could explore 4 major issues. What is causing the decline in profitability? Have revenues decreased? Have costs increased? Why is this happening? Are there changes in customer preferences or behaviors? Are there changes among competitors? Are there changes among suppliers, distributors, or retailers? Are there new technologies? Or are there new regulations? And finally, what can be done to address this issue? Market entry issue tree. Market entry cases ask you to determine whether a company should enter a new market. A potential issue tree template for this case could explore 4 major issues. Is the market attractive? Are competitors strong? Does the company have the capabilities to enter? And will the company be profitable from entering the market? Merger and acquisition issue tree. Merger and acquisition cases ask you to determine whether a company or private equity firm should acquire a particular company. A potential issue tree template for this case could explore 4 major issues. Is the market that the target is in attractive? Is the acquisition target an attractive company? Are there any acquisition synergies? Will the acquisition lead to high returns? Essential issue tree tips to follow. Issue trees are powerful tools to solve complex business problems, but they are much less effective if you don't follow these 5 important tips. The 5th tip is the most important tip that you absolutely need to follow. Tip number 1, have 3 to 5 branches. Your issue tree needs to be both comprehensive but also clear and easy to follow. Therefore, your issue tree should have at least 3 branches to be able to cover enough breadth of the key issue. Additionally, your issue tree should have no more than 5 branches. Any more than this will make your issue tree too complicated and difficult to follow. By having more than 5 branches, you also increase the likelihood that there will be redundancies or overlap among your branches, which is not ideal. Tip number 2, order your branches logically. Whenever possible, try to organize the branches in your issue tree logically. For example, if the branches in your issue tree are segmented by time, arrange them as short-term, medium-term, and long-term. This is a logical order that is arranged by length of time. It does not make sense to order the branches as long-term, short-term, and medium-term. This ordering is confusing and will make the entire issue tree harder to follow. Tip number 3, branches should be parallel. The branches on your issue tree should all be on the same logical level. For example, if you decide to segment the branches on your issue tree by geography, your branches could be North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Australia. This segmentation is logical because each segment is a continent. It would not make sense to segment the branches on your issue tree as United States, South America, China, India, Australia, and rest of world. This segmentation does not follow logical consistency because it mixes continents and countries. Tip number 4, be 80-20. The 80-20 principle states that 80% of results come from 20% of the effort or time invested. In other words, it is a much more efficient use of time to spend a day solving 80% of a problem and then moving on to solving the next few problems than to spend 5 days solving 100% of one problem. The same principle could be applied to your issue tree. You do not need to solve every single issue that you have identified. Instead, focus on solving the issues that have the greatest impact and require the least amount of work. And tip number 5, be MISI. MISI stands for mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. When breaking down the overall problem in your issue tree, the final list of smaller problems needs to be mutually exclusive and completely exhaustive. Mutually exclusive means that none of the smaller problems in your issue tree overlap with each other. This ensures that you are working efficiently since there will be no duplicated or repeated work. Collectively exhaustive means that the list of smaller problems in your issue tree account for all possible ideas and possibilities. This ensures that your issue tree is not missing any critical areas to explore. Now you know everything you need to know about issue trees. When done right, they will make your consulting case interviews much easier to solve. If you found this video helpful for your case interview preparation, make sure to check out our comprehensive case interview course and books. Links are in the video description. We teach the most robust, effective case interview strategies in the least time-consuming way to save you hundreds of hours of prep time and help you land multiple consulting job offers.